Hello, everyone. My name is Luis from Hired, and I'm very happy to welcome you to the webinar BAT Unplugged Shaping a Better Tomorrow and Your Global Graduate Career, hosted obviously by BAT. Today, we're pleased to have Hanna, Laura, Sam, and Rodrigo, all of them specialists and graduates and young professionals. And during the next 45-minute session, you can expect a real talk about growth, challenges, and purpose, and to get insights into BAT's culture and early careers opportunities. Now, I will give the screen to the BAT specialist. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Luis, for the little introduction. Hello, everyone. It's crazy to not see you, but I know that you're there. And I'm pretty sure you know that you do have the chat function if you have questions throughout our little presentation. So please make it as interactive as you can. And then we prepared some slides, not too many, I promise. But yeah, if you can share the screen or the slides, then I will start talking about BAT with the fancy name of our webinar, BAT Unplugged, Shaping a Better Tomorrow and Your Global Graduate Career. And I would like to tell you a bit about BAT before we come to the people part, and we're going to introduce ourselves. But yeah, first of all, so we're around for a while. 1902. In total, we have more than 48,000 employees with over 140 nationalities, which I think is quite impressive. We operate across 3 different regions. I try to spare you with our BAT language, but we do have Americas and Europe, and that's also where we are located. I know like my colleagues also going to talk about it, but we are all part of our Western Europe area. That means, for example, I am located in London in our Chiswick office. Then we have people here from Spain, from France, but we also have the Nordics countries. We have Greece, and we also have Benelux. And I hope I'm not missing someone, but I don't think so. Then we do have Asia Pacific and Middle East and Africa and the US. So yeah, a very global company, you can say. And then, we're one of the world's leading consumer goods companies. And our purpose, since we've been around for a while, as you can see, so we have a very long tradition, and our aim is also to transform to a better tomorrow and building a smokeless world. And on the bottom, you can see our product categories. On the right, you see basically where we are coming from, our combustibles. But our focus are definitely the new category products, where we do have our vapor, we have heated products, and we have the modern oral. So I think this really shows our transformation and the direction where we're heading towards. And this is something we're all very committed to. And then this is our strategic navigator. Again, it might be a bit overwhelming in the beginning, but also just so you see how everything comes together. You see on the top it says a better tomorrow, and we do aim for being a predominantly smokeless business by 2035. So that means it also then translates into different pillars. So a better tomorrow sounds very vague, but then you also translate it into building a smokeless world. We want adult smokers to switch to better. Then we do have the pillars, and on the bottom you can see our values, which pretty much build our culture and defines the culture, and how we as colleagues basically work together at the office, which I think personally for me is the most important part for the company I'm working at. I want to feel comfortable where I spend so much time. For me, it's very important to get along with the people, be inspired. So here you also see, and I know that every company has their values. I think I'm proud to say that I can say that we are really living the values, and I can see like when I go to the office, when I work on different projects, but we do have a very inclusive culture, I would say. I'm also driving our diversity and inclusion agenda, where we do a lot in terms of awareness, but also education. We celebrate a lot. We celebrate our differences, so that's a very important part. and we do have the value of do the right thing. So we do act with integrity and also making a thoughtful decision. When we say we love our consumers, obviously it's our consumers when we talk about our brands, but also I'm part of the HR team. So for me, kind of like my consumers are my colleagues, our people. So that's also very important. Yeah, we do have the passion to win. We want to transform. We are very innovative. We are empowered through trust, which I'm also happy to say that for my part, I can say it's definitely true. I feel empowered through the trust I receive from my colleagues. And stronger together is, I think, for me, the most important value. And I can see, like, I work together with a lot of like different colleagues from a lot of like different countries. And I always feel like a team, even though we don't see each other face to face, maybe just only virtually. But yeah, these are our values, just so you get hopefully a bit of like a feeling for our culture, how we work together. And I'm sure when my colleagues tell a bit more about their experiences, you will see that this is actually true. And then I think what I'm most passionate about are our people. So I'm gonna quickly introduce myself, and what I put in here is my QR code if you want to connect on LinkedIn. I mean, my name is Hanna. I'm part of BAT since I think 2.5 years. I started at BAT Germany, being responsible for employer branding for some countries of like Central Europe, and then the company moved me to London, and now I'm responsible for employer branding for Western Europe, so for all the countries I mentioned in the beginning. And I think for me, it's a very, very interesting role. I do have a very strong marketing background, and right now I feel like it's not that I only feel like, I do marketing for us as an employer, so I work very closely with our people, and I really enjoy my job, and also that's why I'm here. I'm also always interested in finding great talents who would like to work for BAT. So feel free to scan the QR code, connect on LinkedIn. I just would like to mention, I'm happy to connect, and also if you have questions, like drop me a message. But please don't share any CVs via LinkedIn or via email. This goes through our career website, so I cannot do anything with it. But yeah, maybe you have some questions, or whenever you see a vacancy coming up, feel free to connect and reach out. And that's about me. And at this point, I would like to hand over to my colleagues. All of them are global graduates or former global graduates from different countries, different functions. So I hope you enjoy what they're gonna tell you about their journey so far at BAT.
Fantastic, that's me. Hello, everyone. My name is Sam. I'm currently on the HR Global Graduate Program at BAT. So I joined the company on the 1st of September, just gone. So I'm only about 7 weeks in, currently undertaking my first rotation as a HR business partner. And today I'm really, really excited to tell you guys a little bit more about what the program's all about, some of the things that I've been working on in my first 7 weeks, and also why it's such a fantastic opportunity for anyone who is looking to kickstart their career in HR. So the HR Global Graduate Program is an 18-month fast-track development scheme designed to prepare you all for a managerial role. It's aimed at high potential graduates who want to grow into future leaders within HR, with progression into a grade 34 managerial position being the main objective of the whole scheme. So the scheme itself is unique, mainly for its rotational structure. So you as a graduate will get to experience 3 different areas of the business, which is designed to give you both breadth and depth of knowledge of the organization as a whole. So a little bit more about my role. So my rotation title at the minute is HR Business Partner. But actually, after expressing my desire to my line manager to develop first into a little bit more of a generalist, we came up with a set of deliverables that has so far seen me interact with employer branding, talent acquisition, reward, compliance and governance across Western Europe. So in just 7 weeks, I've already had the chance to work on some really exciting and meaningful projects. And I just wanted to share a couple of the highlights with you, just to give you an idea of the kind of work that we're doing. So I've supported talent review meetings for the finance function and helped develop a new talent card procedure. I've collaborated with area HR business partners and our IDT team to create a talent succession and analytics dashboard that's been used to consolidate some employee talent data and automate our approach to talent management. I've been involved in data analysis for our employee engagement surveys, which have helped us to understand how people feel about the company and what we can do to improve. And then presented my analysis and recommendations to senior stakeholders in leadership meetings. I've led training sessions on inclusive hiring and assessor training, and even facilitated assessment centres, which I must admit felt really strange to be on the other side of now. I chair the Western Europe HR Connect sessions, which bring together HR professionals across the region. And finally, I've also helped develop and organise our new early careers community, which is designed to connect interns and graduates from across the business together. So I think it's really important to say that when you're engaging in these tasks, you're not just shadowing the people who are more senior to you. You're given real responsibilities from day one, and you'll work on projects that have a genuine impact on the business. Now, I know it sounds like a lot, but throughout the whole process, you will be supported by a mentor throughout the program, as well as various managers throughout each of your rotations. It's a fast-paced environment, it definitely is, and you're given a lot of autonomy. You're really trusted to get on with your work, and personally, I think that's something that I really, really value. There's also the Global Graduate Academy, which I am expecting to attend in Q2 of 2026. So this is a world-class training experience where you'll meet other graduates from some of the other functions, and you'll build your network and develop your leadership skills within this. So having spoken recently to some of the graduates who are currently attending, they've told me how amazing the experience is, and they feel like they've developed skills that they didn't even know that they were lacking before taking part in the process. So for me, BAT has been genuinely a fantastic company to work for. The culture is so welcoming, inclusive, and empowering. From day one, I've felt supported and really encouraged to grow. There are loads of opportunities to learn on the job. You can access training, and even if you really want to, you can take on international assignments if that's something that you are more interested in. But one thing that I think I mostly appreciate and really appreciate is the clarity around career progression. You're constantly given really detailed feedback and guidance on how you can improve and how you can move forward. And if after everything your interests really change, there is the flexibility within the company to allow you to move into different functions if there's a business case for it. So a little bit about the office environment, especially here in Chiswick. It's young, it's vibrant, it's full of incredible young people, who are all pulling in the same direction to ensure that BAT succeeds. And we also have a really great time while doing it. I think also the development of the early careers community is proving to be a great way for some of the young professionals in that really early stages of their careers, the graduates and the interns, to share experiences and build connections with each other. We also have a hybrid working model. I'm based in Hertfordshire, just outside of London. It's about an hour and a half away from the office. So for me personally, commuting to the Chiswick office 3 days a week is perfect for me. Then outside of work, there are loads of activities that BAT are facilitating: football, paddle, hiking. So it's not just about work. It's also about building a life and a community outside of the office. So I joined BAT really because I wanted to work for a large, international and complex organization. I wanted one that was going to really challenge me to become the professional that I aspire to be. And all I can say is so far it's really delivering on that. It's challenging and it's fast paced, but it's incredibly rewarding. In just 7 weeks, I feel like I've massively developed as a professional. And really, I cannot recommend the company enough, and would genuinely tell all of you to look at BAT when deciding what you want to do after your studies. Finally, if you do have any questions about the company, I have popped my email just at the bottom right there of the slide. feel absolutely free to give me a message about anything, and I will do my best to give you some more information. I'm just going to repeat what Hanna said, though. Please don't send any CVs to me. It won't help your case. But yeah, give me a message if there's anything at all that you would like answered, and I will do my best. But so I'll pass you over now.
Okay. Hi guys, I'm Laura Martin. I'm from Spain and I'm currently part of the Global Graduate Program within the marketing function. And I'm I'm in BIT a little bit longer than Sam. I've been here since June, but as he said, it's a really fast-paced experience, and I've only been here for 5 months, I think, and I feel like I've been in BIT for 2 years at least. But I'm here just to tell you a little bit about my experience and what the program it's been for me and why I wanted to join this company and this program. So for me, it's important to tell you a little bit about my background. So I have a background in communication and digital, and I think that this program was really brought me to this program was that it will give me a broader and more strategic view of the business. I think that in other companies you are like given a function and so this is it. And it's really specific. But I think that what this program gives you is the opportunity to really know what the business is really like. So Sam has already told you a little bit about how the program is an 18-month journey, that are given responsibility from day one. But I think that what really was important for me is the rotation part of the program. Uh, I have my first rotation that I'm currently doing is trade marketing, but then I have CX marketing, and my last one is field force. So I think that what really that gives me is that an a, a experience that I don't think that in other companies or in other jobs you are really given. So I think that right after when you finish college, you don't really know what you want to do or you don't really know what a job is like. So I think in this program, you are given responsibility from day one. So you really are going to learn what you have to do, what a business or a company really want from you, but you are learning while you're working. So I think that it's great. And it makes you feel like you are part of the company. From day one, I felt like I was part of BAT, and as Sam said as well, the environment, everyone is so welcoming, everybody so from day one, they've given me their hand and they help me grow not only personally but professionally. So I think it's really important to be in a program like this, to know that you are going to be challenged, but they are going to help you all throughout this program. So talking a little bit more about the program, I think is really important. The support that you are giving by your coach and mentor. These are people that are already in BIT, they are seniors, they know how the company works, and they are going to challenge you. They are going to tell you what skills you are lacking, what they think that you can improve. And sometimes it can be a little bit challenging, it can be hard, but I think that that's what gives you the progress that I think that you need. So I think that's great. And what I value the most is the level of trust and support that you receive from day one. You are a part of this environment. You are encouraged to be proactive. You are going to be challenged, as I already said, and that's what makes you grow, I think. And also, what I really appreciate is the international mindset. I'm part of BAT Spain, but I've already collaborated with people from other parts of my area, Western Europe, and so you have to be ready to speak with people from all around the world, and I think that's great because you you're going to broaden your perspective. You don't only meet people from, in my case, Spain. You're going to work with people from UK or people from France, and I think for me it was really important because I really wanted to challenge myself and to get to know more people. So I think that if you are someone who's curious, who's eager to learn, I would absolutely recommend this program. As I already said, it's going to be challenging, but I think it's one of those experiences that you have to live, that it's going to truly accelerate your personal and professional growth. So go for it. I think that BAT is a great company. As Sam already said, it has a really young environment. You are going to have fun it's true that you are going to be challenged sometimes, that you have to work and you have to work really hard. But I think that it's going to give you uh, a, a growth that I don't think that you can get it from other companies as fast as you are going to get it from BIT. So I hope that my experience will help you get a better sense of what life as a global graduate is. And if you want to look me up in LinkedIn, I'm Laura Martin. And if you have any doubts or if you want me to tell you a little bit more, I'm happy to hear from you. Or later in the Q&A session, I will tell you all about it. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Hello, my name is Rodrigo. From the group, I'm the only one who is a former graduate. I'm currently a demand planning executive for France for the vaping category. And I joined BAT a year and a half ago in March of 2024. I'm originally from Argentina. I'm 25 years old. And before joining BAT, I did a bachelor's in management at the SAP Business School and a master's in marketing at SAP Business School. I had a couple of internships in different fields at PwC, Vision Group, Talana, Santori in different positions. And then I did a master's in marketing. So when I finished my master's, I had several ideas. And from what I'd seen, the program at BAT was the best combination of having varied experiences in a fast-paced environment with people who are very international. And that's what I got in my experience. I joined it as a marketing DG, and I did several different rotations. The first one being in shopper marketing, where I was leading projects related to furniture inside of the store. It was a big responsibility that I was given from the get-go. And I think that was also the experience of my peers who are in this call today. My second rotation was completely different in the trade marketing team, leading analysis on sales performance and how to improve the sales performance. So a completely different scope versus my first rotation. And my last rotation, which ended up being my final position, was in the planning and forecasting team. So giving also a big responsibility of building the demand plan, forecasting the sales for the following months, years, being part of many projects and plans. That was my last rotation, and it ended up being my landing position. Throughout the program, I had the support of both my coach and my mentor, who were able to give me advice for my coach on anything, and for my mentor on more high-level career decisions, which ended up helping me in landing this position. As you can see, I initially joined in marketing, but my landing role is more towards finance and forecasting. So it means that at BAT, really, you can start doing something and you can end up doing something completely different. There's many possibilities. And if you're really curious about something, the door is always open to go and try it. About my personal background, I am someone who's very lucky to have lived in 8 different countries across 3 different continents. I'm fluent in Spanish, English, French, and Portuguese, and I can also communicate in German and Italian. And that's also, like, I wouldn't say super common, but I've met a lot of people at BAT who have similar backgrounds, very international. So you always somehow feel at home with your colleagues. I work from the France office, but I'm always speaking in Spanish or in English or in French and even sometimes in Portuguese, because we really have a very diverse environment. And that's something that I really love about BAT. And I know for sure that BAT, if you want to go somewhere else, work in a different country, it's always possible. The door is always open to try something in a different country or in a different function. And that's something that I really have appreciated about working at BAT. About the program itself, I don't know if my other colleagues have mentioned, they have mentioned the Good Academy, but I think none of them have actually done it yet. I've done the Good Academy, and it's an amazing experience. You get to meet all of the graduates from all around the world. It's a very big intercultural exchange, and also you're learning from top speakers about different skills, different things that you can use in your day-to-day work, but also that speak to you on a personal level. So it's a very good experience, and it's great really to connect with everyone from around the world. So that's what I can say about my experience as a graduate and what I'm doing right now. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. You have my name is here. I have the same name on LinkedIn. So please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. And yeah, thank you for this opportunity.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm quickly going to go back to the slide with the LinkedIn QR code, not because I need all of you to connect with me, but I could see that like some requests already came in, and I thought maybe I didn't have it on for long enough. So if you want to connect, feel free. And then also you saw the names of my colleagues, feel free to look them up as well. So yeah, thank you very much. And I think, everyone could say what they want. I didn't force them to say anything. They just shared with you. But I think it was great also to hear the different experiences from the colleagues across Western Europe. So I saw that one question came in, and I'm just going to read it out loud, and then I leave it up to you guys to answer it. What are the biggest challenges you guys have faced during the program? I mean, I'm also happy to share my biggest challenge, but since you're doing the program, I would say you go first.
I was going to say, I'll start because I'm the newest person, and so I can give you, sort of my perspective from 7 weeks, and then you guys can hear from the others. But for me, it would be learning and having the ability to know what is actually the highest priority out of the jobs that you've got on at the moment. You will have so many different responsibilities and lots to do at one different time, and you've got to try and juggle that in the best way that you possibly can to make sure that you can deliver them all on time and to the best of your abilities and to the highest standard. So for me, it would be that responsibility and learning how to deal with multiple responsibilities at once. And I think that the only way for me that I've found, the best way that I've found to deal with that, is to get it all down on a piece of paper and create an action plan. I'm somebody who likes to see what I'm going to be working with. But yeah, that would be mine.
I would say that the biggest challenge that I faced was that, as I already said when I presented, my background is communication. I'm a journalist. So my first rotation was trade marketing, and it was really Excel numbers, and that was it. But I think that the best thing that I could was really trust my team and my mentor and my coach and what they chose for me. They chose it for something, for a function. So I trusted my team. They told me everything that I needed to know about what I have to do. So I would say the biggest challenge is to be faced with things that you are not used to. But if you trust the process and you really get to know your team, they are going to be there for you all the way. So that would be my biggest challenge and how I overcame it.
For me, the biggest challenge, not a challenge in itself, but something that was difficult during the program, I would say, was there are so many options basically on what you can do and where you can go next. You get a lot of support, but with all those options, sometimes it can be not so straightforward to know what you want to do next. But again, you get so much support and you have so much opportunity to engage that at the end of the day, you manage to make the best choice. So I would say that was for me one, probably from the program. What I remember was that the biggest challenge.
Okay, we got another question. What is it that keeps you guys excited about working in the tobacco industry? And then maybe I'm gonna start with that one, so I can give you a bit more time. But I do think it's a fair question. It's also an interesting question, and I think what keeps me excited about working for BAT is that the company is changing, and I worked in different companies before. I worked in a very big fashion company, and everyone would think, oh, this is like such a cool thing to work for a fashion brand. But then also the industry is not changing at all. The company is not changing at all. They don't really think about like transforming or being innovative. And what keeps me excited is working for BAT, because we do change, we do a lot, and we're not just saying it. And I rather work for a company that is changing into the right direction and into a direction I can also identify myself with, than working for a company that has a very cool brand image, but then also it's not changing. And this is coming from someone who never used one of our products, and I probably will never use our products. But I also really I really found for myself that this is not what it is about, because I always thought I'm interested in fashion, but then I didn't enjoy, I just didn't enjoy working for a fashion company. That's what keeps me excited to work for BAT, because I do identify myself with the values and with our transformation, and to see that we are changing makes me really proud.
Yeah, and I
Just
will.
to, sorry,
Sorry,
go.
you
No,
go,
no,
you
go
go.
on.
Don't worry. Yeah.
Okay, just to echo what Hanna was saying, BAT is a very changing environment. Our main focus remains at the moment is our new categories. The business is constantly changing, and that's really what makes it very exciting, because you have a lot of uncertainty in the future. You need to work a lot towards this change, and that keeps every day fresh. Every day comes with new challenges. So for sure, you will never get bored if you work at BAT, and it's a very exciting time to be in this company.
Yeah, and I would say that when I got into the company, I really, as Hannah said, I have never tried any of our products, so I didn't really know a lot about the tobacco industry. But in BIT, one of the values or one of core is to switch for better. And you can see that the company is changing, that they are developing the new categories, not they want to be a smokeless world in 2035. So you can see that they are changing and they are trying to be better, but also doing it because a lot of companies are saying, yeah, I want to do this and do that, but you don't see the change. And in BIT, when you start working here, you can really see how they are doing it and why they are doing it. You can look Omni app. It's a thing that we have, so you can see how everything, how we are doing it and why we are doing it. And the things with combustibles, I know the tobacco can be a really tricky subject, but I think what gives us the power to work here, I would say, is that we can see that it's transforming and the company really wants to switch for better.
And I just want to just carry on that point there that you brought up, just about building a smokerless world. We're investing a lot of money at the minute into R&D on tobacco harm reduction and different ways in which we can build new products and promote, put out new products that actually are going to be healthier or better for the consumer than the traditional smoking of cigarettes. So actually, that's probably the reason that, in answer to your question about working in the tobacco industry, it's actually the fact that we are starting to move away from specifically the tobacco industry. We more towards the nicotine industry as a whole instead, which is what I would refer to it as.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to read out the next question. I do like it. So, how would you describe the organizational culture at BAT? And I try not to go first, so whoever wants to go first, take the question.
I can start with this one. I feel like everyone is honestly super approachable at BAT, regardless of seniority. Especially when you're a graduate, it's very easy to reach anyone, be it manager, senior manager, head of function. They're very reachable and very approachable. You can have a coffee chat with pretty much anyone. And I think that really is something that you see at BAT at all levels. Communication is very straightforward. So yeah, it's honestly it's a great culture that we have of how approachable everyone is.
Yeah, I would say I had previous experience in other companies, and I would easily tell you that in BIT, it's uh, the company that I've been more comfortable, just because, as Rodrigo said, you can speak with, I don't know, with someone as a team leader or an intern. It doesn't matter really your position. You can speak with anybody, and they are going to hear you out. Also, it's true that as global graduate, we have an opportunity because we are in this position. But I would say that everyone in BIT is really open, and you can have a chat with anyone you want. So I would say it's great, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think that word that Rodrigo said there about approachable, but also I'd add willing willing to help. You know, you will go and you'll speak to lots of people, and you will try, yourself to network, but also you'll speak to somebody and they'll introduce you to somebody else who will introduce you to somebody else. Everyone wants to get you out there. Everyone wants to get you to a point where you know exactly who you're speaking to and where you need to go in order to find the help that you might require at any point. And just everyone here from day one has been so helpful, so lovely to meet, and I couldn't recommend it enough, honestly.
Yeah, and also me being the last one to answer the question, I think when I first joined BAT, I think it was very overwhelming with the amount of people working at BAT in the office, different cultures, like different languages, which I find very inspiring and interesting, but it also takes some courage and proactivity to find your spot in there and not like to get overwhelmed by it. So I had to step outside my comfort zone, which I probably wouldn't have done like as a private person, but I was like, okay, now I'm here. I need to get to know the people. So I asked colleagues and be like, who can I reach out to if I want to get to know someone from finance, from legal, from marketing? And I just dropped them a message and be like, hey, can we grab a coffee? And that's what I did. And I met amazing people. I was, when I first joined in Germany, I was lucky enough to actually find friends, and I'm still very, very good friends with them. They would come to London and visit me here now. And the same happened to me when I came to London. And I was also lucky enough to find friends here, but also what the others said as well is like everyone is very approachable. I think I'm in a lucky position where I happen to work with our area leadership team, and they're all really nice. I mean, obviously they have great experience, but also like as people, I think they're very inspiring. I had great conversations with them. When you see them around, you can also like have a short conversation, you can have a joke, and then also sometimes, they just join for lunch. So I think also when we think about the different like hierarchies, which obviously there's some sort of hierarchy, and you have to have the hierarchy within like such a big company to structure it somehow, but you don't feel it if you interact with the people. You have to be open for it. You have to, especially in the beginning, like step outside of your comfort zone. But I think it's very rewarding. And I also, when I joined then in London, I would meet some people I knew from my time doing the Central Europe team, and then when I go to our Globe House. So I think it's very like, even though I basically changed countries and I came here all by myself, like still being part of BAT felt like it's still the same world. So I do appreciate it a lot. That's my 2 cents. And then we have one more question. Any application tips? Yeah, I mean, maybe someone wants to take the question and then I can just add on.
I'll start on this one. I just in regard to application tips, while you're at university or while you're a student, or even if you're a graduate, you have access to so many facilities that can help you out with CV building, interview preparation, assessment center preparation. Utilize all of them. Just do them, because they will improve your ability in all of these areas during every application process that you do. It takes time, it takes practice, but the more you do it and the more repeatable you can make it, the better you will end up becoming as a result of it.
Yeah, maybe I can add on when it comes to, I obviously like, you have to come up with like a good application. That obviously is important. And here again, everything goes through our career website. You have to take some time to actually fill everything out. And then fingers crossed that you make it to the point where you then get to like have a first interview, for example. Eventually you would make it to the assessment center. And I think there, a tip from my side would be, try to be authentic as you can. Sounds very simple, but I know it's not, because it's a long day. You are nervous. It's a new environment. And then our assessment center is with like our senior leaders, and they come in, they all have like, they have great personalities, but if you're just like applying and you're nervous, it can be a bit like intimidating, I think. So I do think if you happen to make it to the stage where you have interviews, really try to show your personality and stand out, not as in like be the loudest person or whatever, but try to make sure that you actually happen to talk to the people, make an impression, make sure they remember you, because besides like the different tasks you're facing and giving like the right answers. It's also really about the personality, I would say, because I think you can easily say if someone is a fit for our culture, and just maybe, I mean, we do have some minutes, so I'm just like sharing my example. I initially applied for a position within digital marketing, and when I had my interview, I could tell that I'm a great fit to the company, and that's also the feedback I received, but I also could tell it's not the job for me. So then I ended up also like finding the right job, because they gave me the feedback as in like, we would love for you to work here, but let's make sure we find the right position. So I think it's really about, first of all, to have the skills and have the application, but then once you get to talk to the people, based also on my experience, I really felt like it's about finding the right position for you. So they will tell if you're like a good fit for that position. So make sure that you actually be authentic and show your personality.
Also, to what Hanna just said on making an impression, I think BAT really values having some sort of varied experience, be it the places where you've lived or your professional experience or even your education. If you come from like a very varied educational background, I think it's also really valued at BAT, because we love to have different perspectives, different points of views. From my own example, like, and also it's good to make an impression in any way when you are in the interview stage. I remember when I did the assessment center, they asked us for an interesting fact, and I mentioned something about a former musical career that I had, and it's stuck with the people who did my interview, because after I got the position, they would bring it up in conversations, So it's always good to have some sort of unique selling point in any way that you think could be impactful in your interview. Can be something professional, but also can be something personal, or a hobby that you have. It's always interesting to have that in such situations. And I think it's something that brings a lot of value and personality to your applications.
Yeah, I would say I remember my assessment. I was really nervous, but adding to everything that you guys said, I would say that they are regular people as well. Just be yourself, make an impression, but relax. Like if you are going to be a fit, you are going to be a fit. If you are not, you are not. So don't put extra pressure on yourself, because the only thing that it's going to make you, it's be more nervous and say things that you could do better if you are yourself, and trust you. If you are a fit, you are going to be in BIT.
Okay, I think that's perfect timing, because I've been told we have 1 minute left. I don't see a new question. So I think to close the session, maybe to come back to the very first question of like the biggest challenges, and just to like, from my point of view, doing employer branding, I think the biggest challenge is really to actually talk about BAT, having the opportunity to talk about why we are proud to work here, that we are transforming. This is really the biggest challenge for us, because of the long tradition we have, and we are proud of that as well, but also we are changing. So that's why I want to say thank you very much for joining and giving us the opportunity to talk about it and to overcome the challenge I'm facing with employer branding. So thanks a lot. And yeah, I saw that a lot of you connected on LinkedIn. And yeah, hope to see some of you soon. And if you have any questions, you let us know. We cannot hear you, Lu. I mean, at least I cannot.
No, I can't either.
No.
Hello? Do you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
We definitely closed the webinar session with a great presentation. We love real, honest conversations, so thank you guys for it. And thank you to all the participants on the webinars in this 12th Global Fair edition. Have a very nice rest of the day, and see you next April. Take care.
All right.